Let's take a look at page 2 of the Chapter 5 practice test calculator portion. The question asks for the cosecant of 60 degrees. And it gives you two special triangles to work with. We want to use this one because it has the 60 degrees. We know that the cosecant is the reciprocal of the sine. So it's going to be hypotenuse over opposite. There's our hypotenuse. There's our opposite for 60 degrees. So cosecant is equal to 2 root 3. We have to rationalize the denominator. So I multiply top and bottom by square root of 3. After I finish my multiplication and simplification, we get this answer right here, which is B. Okay, now the next question asks about cofunctions. We have to know our cofunctions. Sine A equals cosine B. That's one of them. Need to memorize it. Cosecant A is equal to secant B. Cotangent A is equal to tangent B. And these can be flipped around. All right, well, what do I mean by A and B? A and B have to be complementary. A plus B has to equal 90 degrees. Okay, so it wants a cofunction of sine of pi over 13. Well, the cofunction of sine is cosine. So what I need to do now is find out what angle B is. I know angle B has to be complementary to this angle. In other words, pi over 13 plus B has to equal 90 degrees, or in radians, pi over 2. And the rest is just algebra and fraction math. Subtract pi over 13 from both sides. How am I going to perform this operation? Common denominator. Combine the tops. Leave the denominator. There's our answer, choice B. Okay, moving right along. Cosecant 88 degrees. Well, we don't have that on our calculator. What we have to do is we have to take 1 and divide it by the sine of 88 degrees. Make sure that your calculator is in degrees mode. And if you punch this in your calculator, you'll find the sine of 88 degrees is 0.9994. 1 divided by this is this and some other garbage. Truncate it to 2 decimal places. Answer D. All right, now 11 is the exact same thing, except we're working in radians. So I just simply need to have my calculator in radians mode. Okay, so cotangent is the reciprocal of the tangent function. Okay, so I'm going to plug this as I see it in my calculator in radians mode, and I get this. 1 divided by this value gives me 2.08, which is answer A. Okay, now trig applications. The big thing here is we have to visualize the right triangle. This takes a little bit of experience, but you need to think that usually our data gives us an up-down thing. It gives us a left-right thing. And the big hint is things like buildings are up-down. People are up-down. Shadows and things like that, they're on the ground. And that's left-right. Okay, so this is the proper setup for this triangle, and I know you know how to solve right triangles. All right, we need to find this angle theta. Well, this is going to be an opposite, and this is going to be an adjacent. All right, so we know then that the tangent of theta is equal to 236 over 30, but I don't know what theta is. I have to work backwards. So I use the arctangent, right? And this is exactly what I plug into my calculator, and I get this value right here. All right, moving right along, a couple more. Here we go. Number 13, again, I have to set up the triangle. What are they asking for? It's 200 feet tall. but I'm connected 14 below the top. So I did a little subtraction and got this number, this angle they gave me. So this is going to be an opposite. This is going to be a hypotenuse. I'm going to use the sine function. A little bit of algebra. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply both sides by the hypotenuse. Okay, so these guys are going to, oops, not that guy. These guys are going to cancel, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 0.3907. And that's how I get this value. Practice that. Make sure you know how to do it and enter your calculator correctly. Otherwise, you're going to miss a very easy problem. All right, here's another one, casting a shadow of 80 feet off the height of a building that is 250 feet. Be careful. They're asking for this angle with the vertical to the side of the building, not this angle. That's a good way to miss the problem, is calculate this angle instead of this angle. So from this angle's perspective, what do I have? An opposite and adjacent. I'm going to use the tan function. All right, so tangent of theta is going to equal to this ratio. I'm going to work backwards with my calculator. I'm going to get the arc tan. There's the ratio of the sides. It will give me back the angle. Choice B. All right, last one for this page. What does it give me? It gives me an ordered pair. Well, an ordered pair consists of a left-right thingy along our x-axis and an up-down thingy along our y-axis. Okay, this plot is going to be in first quadrant. That means all of my trig functions are going to be positive, which means my final answer will be positive. And if you think, how do you get to this point? You go across 15, you go up 20, and I can connect it by this slant. I have a right triangle. The side adjacent is 15. The side opposite is 20. The hypotenuse I calculate using Pythagorean. Cosine adjacent over the hypotenuse, 15 divided by 25, 25. Simplify. I am in first quadrant, so cosine and all the other trig functions are a positive. And so far, therefore, answer C. All right, next video will be the last page of the calculator portion.